what did happen? I lost my job. I was working at racetrack and I lost my job, and I was like, I was still cooking and catering, but I was like, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm not
You
gonna
going
keep
all in.
going on somebody's job and wasting time. And it never fails. I'm working. Hey, you cooking today? Are you open today? No, I'm at work. No, I just got tired of saying no, I'm at work.
So do you believe that you felt basically working at the job was slowing your process down?
Yes, working at the job was slowing my process down.
Ready for this?
Yes, sir.
That's when you know you're not ready. Today we have our guest, our friend in the room, Daniel Edge, Mr. Everything. I don't know I don't want to close you out or anything in your truck, man. Mr. Do Everything Good. You owe me for that, Mr. Do Everything Good.
I got you, man.
So this conversation is gonna be interesting. So one of the main reason I wanted to bring you here, because you're still in the process of grinding and building. And I remember you starting from cooking from your home.
Yes.
To now developing a mobile truck serving food.
Okay.
So I wanted you to talk about your grind and talk about how building and hustling every day and how how you got here, you and your family hustling. That was something that blew my mind when I saw you, your wife, your children, everybody hustling together. So how you got to that point and build. But I want to start from the beginning, of course. Born and raised in Riviera Beach?
West Palm.
West Palm Beach, yeah. Okay.
West Palm. My mom used to work for the city.
City of what? So, West Palm Beach?
City of Riviera Beach. So I'm more like both of them, Riviera Beach, West Palm Beach.
Community.
Yeah.
So it's basically all one.
Okay.
When did you end up moving to Riviera Beach, or when you around this?
I've been here all my life, actually.
Okay.
So, from when I moved out with my mom, and then I moved to Riviera Beach, like around 2014, 15.
Okay. So you were raised by both your mom and dad, or just
just my mom.
Your mom. Any brothers and sisters in the house?
Yes, I have brothers and sisters. They're much older. I have one that's under me. But there was we were the last two.
Last two ever now. Yeah. So how many older you have?
Oh shoot. I have biological sisters. I have, I want to say 3 older than me and 2 older brothers than me, biologically.
Okay.
And adoptively, because I was adopted, I have 2 older sisters and what is
you
it?
deep?
3. Yeah.
So when did the adoption happen?
Happened around 2012.
So were you you were living with your biological family first, then you moved on to your adopted family, or?
No, I was.
It
was vice versa. So I was in the system ever since I was 3 days old. Yeah, and I just recently. I always knew my mom, my biological mother, because we'll cross paths or whatnot. But I just recently, as of last year, found out my biological father.
We're gonna try to unpack all that. So you were in the system at 3 days old.
3 days old.
But you still knew your mother.
I still knew my mother.
Was your mom dealing with substance abuse? And your adopted family, was it somebody that you guys knew, or was it somebody in the system?
No, it was somebody that was in the system. My mom now, I thank her for this day because she basically taught me everything I know with cooking. And
your biological mother taught you?
My foster mother, which adopted me, so now she's my mother. So
understand.
Yeah, I got her in 1995, and we've just been rocking ever since.
So, and then you said in that process, you'll see your mom.
Yeah, because I have my biological brothers. They'll tell me who my mom was and this and that, and
So, were you the only one adopted?
Yes, out of my biological family. Yep.
How did that come about? Like how you became the only one adopted?
The home that I was in, she wanted to make me part of her family. So I mean, we went through the process.
It was the best option for you at that time.
Yeah. Instead of going from home to home, she gave me a home.
She gave you that stability.
Yes.
So how was it difficult? Well, how difficult was it to disconnect from your biological family to now living with your...
At the time when it happened, I was a little kid, so I didn't know.
You didn't know any difference?
I didn't know any difference.
So what age were you when you came on living with her?
I want to say 5.
So what were you doing between 3 and 5? Just going from home to home?
Going from home to home.
Do you remember any of that? Or
I still remember the house. I used to stay on 24th Street by the Me House.
Okay.
That's before I went to my house out west. The one.
Was it a family that you knew already, or
no.
It was just going from that? So did you ever? Was there a lot of other adopted brothers and sisters that you built relationship with in that process? That you guys became close?
Just one, the one that's under me. She adopted both of us.
So that's how that relationship.
So that's how he's my little brother by adoption. So
okay, but you keep all that close.
Yeah.
So once you found out that was your mom, how was that relationship in passing?
Honestly, I didn't understand it. So I didn't give time for the relationship to heal or be open to the relationship. Because it's like 3 days old. I'm still in the hospital. Like, what's going on? Like, but I mean, we'll talk on not occasion, like in the spare of the moment. You know what I'm saying? My brothers will call me, hey, mom said she want to talk to you. So I'm like, okay. And
so you're still dealing with that. That's a real thing for you.
Yeah, because she actually passed. My biological mom actually passed.
Okay. How long ago was that?
Last year. Actually, August would be a year since she passed.
So did you guys ever get a chance to have that conversation about who, what, where, how?
Nope.
So, and then now you say you just met your biological father.
Yes, I just met my biological father.
How was that?
I got the number wrong. I want to say 4 or 5 other brothers. It's a lot of us.
One of your sister, man. Like,
nah.
Like the way this is going, if you don't even know what time it is, like, I don't want you to date one of your sisters by mistake.
It got crazy because I was in the midst. Like, I got the call that my mom had passed because she was in a nursing home.
Okay.
So I'm like, I'm gonna be honest. I really didn't.
You know how to feel.
I don't know how to feel nothing about it. So, and then I want to say like maybe a day later, I got a call from this man who was my biological father saying,
"I'm
your father."
1 week.
Yeah. So I was like, oh man, like what?
Like
who?
Like what is that?
Yeah.
So how did you start building a relationship with him after that?
Yeah, we're starting building a relationship now.
So what about, I wonder how it works even with your children, them asking, but you treat your foster mother as the mom.
Yes.
So when they ask, I want to talk to grandma, they're meeting your foster mother.
Yes.
So do they really get into that, or that's grandma? That's all they know.
That's grandma.
That's all. That's powerful, man. So
they seen my biological mom before.
So for them, it was the same way you treated, like.
Yeah, it's like you can't spring it on them too early because it's when they get older, I sit them down and explain it to them like what happened in the process. Same thing with my biological father. He's still alive to this day.
So now you said that your adopted mother is the one that started you off with cooking.
Yeah, she basically taught me everything I know how to be a man.
So manhood started from her.
Yes.
So what's some of the things you remember of her teaching you about manhood?
How to cut the grass, because I was one of the older ones in the house, so I would have to,
take care
of the home. She taught me how to cook. She basically just taught me, everything. Life skills of how to survive or whatnot, how to make a meal out of nothing. So,
I mean, that foundation is strong. Now, do you think you missed out on anything, like watching your friends, watching your people around? Did you ever feel like you missed out on anything?
No. Because the love was there. So I was, 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 I'm okay. I'm good to this day, so I really didn't miss out on much.
But because the thing is, well, I guess you guys never treated like it was your stepmom or anything like that. It was just mom. I'm going home to mom.
She treated us like she treated her biological kids.
How many of you guys were in the house?
I
guess it changes.
It changes for different times. So I mean, the most in the house is about 6 or 7.
So what I'm wondering is, after you guys go through all that process, do you still have connection with them out of the house? Like after somebody come in the house, you said once in a while.
Once in a while, I still keep connections, but as of the ones that came through the house, I have no connection with them.
You have no connection with them. So her teaching you guys how to cook to survive, was it still an experience in cooking, or just like put this to this to make this work? And
it was more like an experience. While she's in there cooking, hey, come on in here, get out in front of the TV. Let me show you how to do this. Let me show you how to do this.
When I'm not in the house,
yeah,
you could. So you give her she's basically started the foundation on that. So high school, what high school did you go to?
Palm Beach Lakes.
So how was that experience on Palm Beach Lake? So, and then also I'm thinking of like cousins and all those things. Wasn't the cousins that you had growing up, was it from your biological or was it from the adopted?
Adoptive.
So that's all you knew.
That's all I knew
around.
I mean, the process with going through elementary, middle school, and high school was actually fine. I may not have the things that the other kids had, but she instilled in us, it's not about the materialistic things. Life skills, I'm gonna give you what you need to survive and not what you want.
So after high school, did you just decide to stay local? You want to go to school? Like what was that transition in high school?
I went to college for a semester and I found out it wasn't for me. I had plenty of jobs in between, but I just couldn't see myself, if I see myself, working on nobody's job, like it wasn't for me. I wanted to be an entrepreneur. So
where did that come from? Where did the entrepreneur spirit and all that come from?
It just woke up one day and it happened. I used to cook when I moved out, so I already had the basic necessities to survive as a man. So I used to cook and post plates on Facebook, like, this is what I'm eating tonight. This is what it is, and everybody was like, oh, you should sell plates, you should sell plates. And I'm like, yeah, no, I don't got time.
Was that when you were by yourself, or you were already with your wife?
I was already with my wife. She is the one that actually told me to go for it. So when she told me to go for it in 2017.
So you guys meet in high school? Let's go back up a little. I want you to go into there. Like, I want to talk about that. How you guys started your relationship, because you guys, from what I see, is a bond. Yeah. Did you guys meet in high school or something?
No, she went to a different high school than me. We actually met when I was working at Sam's Club.
Okay.
They used to come.
No, I don't know what goes down at Sam's Club. Like you said it, like I just know what goes on at Sam's Club. Sam's Club.
She used to come in there, shop. And I'm like,
wait a minute. Oh, so you met her when she was shopping?
I met her when she was shopping.
And you found a way to just.
I just, made it my business to go help her.
Okay. You weren't just a helper. You just made it your business to go help her that time. So then
it was plenty of times.
Oh, so it was not one time.
No.
But she found a way to keep on going to that same stand.
She found a way to.
It was how slick they are. But go ahead. Mm-hmm. So you met her working at Sam's. You approach her, and the rest is history, clearly. Then you guys end up getting together. Did you guys have your first child already, or?
No, we didn't have a first child till 2011 when we started actually dating in 2011. Mm-hmm. So it had to be. I left Sam's in 2013. By the time I left Sam's, we already had our first child, which is my daughter. She's the oldest. Okay.
So then you started posting plates of what you're eating, just regular.
Yeah, just randomly posting plates. And people like, oh, man, you should start selling plates. Or how much for this? I'm like, it's not for sale. I'm just...
Were you always a cook in the house?
Yes. She can cook also.
But you enjoyed it.
I enjoyed it.
So then, excuse me. So in that process of living together, leaving Sam's, when did you start actually cooking to sell?
2017.
So when did she tell you to go out and do it? Is it around that time when she was like,
around that time, like 2017, when we had our first lunch sale? when I first came out, sold my first plate, we came up with a menu. And
how did you get that information to start doing all that? Was it just people asking you for stuff and you just say?
People were just asking me for stuff. So I started with the basics, macaroni, baked beans, potato salad, ribs and chicken. That's all I started with.
So, and you got those recipes from your
She started off making the sides and I was on the grill.
Okay. So, and then like how do you just going about that? Did you just go to regular Sam's or regular?
Yeah, we was going to Sam's. By the time I was going to Sam's getting the inventory.
So how many days a week were you guys doing this?
Just on the weekends, just on Saturday and Sundays, because we was trying something out. And I think the first sale was actually during the week on a Tuesday. We were just like, let's just try it and see what happens. And ever since then, we've been moving forward ever since.
So once you guys, how was the first day? Like, you guys cooked. How did you portion it? Did you have any idea about those things? We had no idea.
We were just fixing plates. Fixing plates.
So how did break down that day to me? What does that day look like?
The day looks like, getting up at 5, 6 in the morning, starting to grill for lunchtime, getting the sides going, we're getting orders in. I mean, friends and family supported. Just going from there.
So you guys just took
took a leap out on faith and just started doing it.
And just started doing it. And was she the backbone of it, saying, yes, hey, let's do it, we could do it?
Yeah.
And you guys went all in. So from that first lunch, what did it look like for you? Were you just right there and then want to keep on going, or what was that process like?
The process, I wanted to keep going from there because I feel like, I have a gift and I got to use it. So ever since then, it went from just on Tuesdays to weekends only. Tuesday would be the only day that I would sell through the week, lunchtime. Then it'd be on the weekends. And then after that, it just kept progressing.
Was it the same dishes every time though?
It was the same dishes every time until I felt comfortable enough to expand.
But so very few understand that process.
Yeah.
You got better at those specific whatever that word is, dishes, and you kept that going.
I kept it going
until you mastered it, and then you said you want to bring.
I want to bring.
Like, why did you do that though? Because very few people understand that process.
To give people a different choice or something. Because like I said, I was just serving macaroni, baked beans, and potato salad. Then I started to implement the collard greens.
So you started with adding more sides.
I started adding more sides. I want to say this fish part didn't come until probably like a year later.
So you went from the same dish,
yes,
ribs and
chicken,
macaroni, baked beans,
potato salad.
The same thing on Tuesday and then the weekend.
And on the weekend.
When did you start doing more days? After you created more things in the menu?
Yes.
So you went adding how much more things to the menu?
I want to say I added dirty rice, give people like a rice option.
Mm-hmm.
Seafood rice probably didn't come into.
But what made you even pick that dirty rice option?
Because I like dirty rice. And then jambalaya, most people don't eat seafood. So I stuck with the dirty rice. I was either jambalaya or dirty rice.
Mm-hmm.
So I stuck with the dirty rice.
So you got more comfortable adding more things. After you add more things to the dish, you started adding more days.
Yes.
How many days a week were you doing it now after that?
Well, at the time, I was still working on somebody's job. So it was normally like on my days off, I would cook. And then on the weekends, because I really used to work weekends.
Mm-hmm.
So like every Friday, not Friday, because Friday didn't come along till maybe a month or so after. Most people like me, I don't cook on Fridays when I was in the house. It's everybody for themselves.
Right.
So every Saturday and Sunday we were going. And then, I was like, one day I was like, you know what? I got tired of ribs. Let's try soul food. And that's when she came in.
So you guys weren't, I guess for me being raised up north, I thought that was soul food already. That wasn't soul food, mac and cheese, barbecue?
Well, it's barbecue food.
Oh.
It's somewhat
so barbecue
the same.
and soul, there's still a difference,
It's
saying.
still a slight difference, but more like when you add the collard greens and then you're going into like soul food type stuff. But we started doing like turkey wings, baked chicken, yellow rice, white rice, or whatever. And started doing desserts. I used to make banana pudding. I just don't have the time to do it now.
So you and her, did she have a passion for cooking also, or it was just on survival mode?
It was just on survival mode. She don't really have a passion for cooking. Not for the house.
She had to help the family.
Yeah, for the house, she'll cook for the house.
Okay. So she's a specialist, really. Yeah. That's like a secret weapon you might need to pull out once in a while. So you guys started creating soul food option. Did you leave the job then, or?
I was still working the job probably like 1 or 2 days a week just to stay on payroll. Mm-hmm. But we talked about it. It was like you could be open more, like
and earn more.
Earn more.
So let's talk about some details for someone that's want to do the same idea. What type of revenue were you starting off on making? Was it $1,000 a week, $500 a week? Like, how did the transition start happening?
Honestly, I really don't know because I really wasn't keeping track of that or what I was dishing out or what I was bringing in. All I was seeing was, people was happy. They was enjoying the food. It didn't actually take an effect until like maybe last year. When I started.
So you really were just you got the high of taking care of people.
Yes.
Giving people a quality meal to go home to that. Mm-hmm. So that was still your high. Yeah. And then, so you went from the barbecue soul to then adding more soul food. I guess your wife stepped in and created more dishes for that. Mm-hmm. And then, so you both started cooking. Yeah. And then next year, so that was the hustle. That was the build-up process. So last year is when you guys really start making it into a business model, you believe? Yeah. How did that process, like why and how did it start happening?
The process was long and hard. Like I said, we didn't get to where we are today overnight. I mean, we went through a lot of trials and tribulations. What did happen? I lost my job. I was working at racetrack and I lost my job, and I was still cooking and catering, but I was like, you know what? Enough is enough. I'm not going to keep going on somebody's job and wasting time. And it never fails. I'm working. Hey, you cooking today? Are you open today? No, I'm at work. No, I just got tired of saying no, I'm at work.
So do you believe that you felt basically working at the job was slowing your process down?
Yes, working at the job was slowing my process down.
Why didn't you, and why did you after? Why didn't you convert to that? Was it the fear of?
Because I thought I needed the job to fall back on, just in case if I have a bad day in cooking, I still got a job to fall back on. Or if I don't want to cook, I go to work.
So you believe that the crush for you was having a plan B?
Yeah. I always kept a plan B. But now it's like if I don't get up and, open that truck, bills don't get paid.
So now your plan B now is your plan A.
Plan B is plan A.
Wow. So when you guys decided to go full blast and leaving 9 to 5s, how was that process for you?
It was hard at first. I mean, like I said, nothing is done overnight. It was really hard to do it. But now that we got the hang of it, we make it work and what's best works for our family.
But I think I don't want you to go all over that. I'm talking about, talk about the grind, the process that you went through, taking that chance, leap of faith before you even got to the truck. Because I remember you aggressively working from home.
Yeah, I was aggressively working from home, doing events in the community. At first, I didn't know you had to have all this type of paperwork to do.
What type of paperwork are you talking about for the ones that want to do this also?
For one, the person that really pushed me to it was 2 people. It's Trinette and Greg. Gregory Eaton, Cupcake Man.
Okay, good. So both good people for this industry.
So paperwork. That's all these people care about is paperwork. Paperwork, it consists of your business tax receipt, and some type of insurance.
Because that gives you opportunity to start catering for companies.
As far as catering, as long as you had a business tax receipt. And I never forget, one day I was working at a group home, and I was trying to come up with a name for the business. And I'm like, well, what am I going to call it? So I was asking my coworker, it was like, Dangerous Barbecue. I'm like, nah, I don't want no barbecue name. I'm like, because I just don't, I know how to cook.
It's more than just
anything.
barbecue.
So I was like, well, cooking something, and I'm like, edge. And then she was like, what about cooking on the edge? And I'm like, you know what? They got a nice ring to it.
You better be careful if she wants the credit for this name.
Oh, nah.
Be careful with that one, but go ahead.
So that's how the name came along, Cooking on the Edge. Edge being my last name.
It's a great name.
So thank you. So that's how that came about.
So after you got game from Trinette and Greg telling you, hey, look, you need to get you need to get this whole thing in order.
Okay.
What did you do first? Did you go into the city, just do it? What's the process for the ones that are just like you that want to do the same thing?
I think my first event that I ever did was Old School Reunion.
Okay.
Like, I didn't do the first year. I believe I did the second year. So I think
that's your first outdoor event.
Outdoor, and I started on tabletop. So, I got with some of the people. It's like, you need a business tax receipt and you need insurance. I had those two things. So the following year, I was at Old School Reunion. And I do it every year.
So that first opportunity is what opened up your eyes.
The first opportunity was at Old School.
How was that first event? How was that feeling? Because
it felt good, but it was stressful. Because it's like, you've
never done this before.
I've never done this before. And it's like you out here in front of people. I was cooking behind closed doors.
So now everything's in full. Ooh, and then
the process of getting ready for an event, it's not easy. I mean,
so and you believe because there wasn't anyone you were able to get that information from is why your process was so difficult? Or did you know anybody else that actually did this before? Like outdoor event, setting up a booth.
I don't know. I don't know if I knew anybody that did it. One of my customers that used to buy food, she's like, Daniel, why you want that Old School Reunion? I was like, I didn't know anything about it.
But even knowing the process to do it, because you said it was difficult when you first got started.
It was my first event. I didn't know what to expect or how much I was going to buy, or did I underbuy, did I overbuy? Because you got to keep track of those things to see how much money.
So how did you do for your first event?
I did pretty good. I sold out.
It's never bad, Dan.
It's never bad.
You made it seem like, I don't know, but you didn't finish off letting me know I sold out.
Because a lot of the customers were my customers, so
So you were in the community. So all your customers were just there. They expected. So they already knew you were going to have good food, but you didn't know that you had the whole process of getting to that point to open up, serve, cook in front of people, the whole night. So how, were you intimidated by that whole thing?
At first I was. But once I just started getting in the groove, I'm like, okay.
It's your emotions.
I'm just
like, what did the menu look like for that first
I think the first year was ribs, chicken, and fish.
So that was your protein. Did you do sides also on that?
Yeah, I did sides, macaroni, baked beans, and collard greens.
So you stuck to what you know.
I stuck to what and I did sauce too. Pork sauce and chicken sauce. So I think that was, because I knew somebody was like, oh, make sure you bring some sauce out here. And I'm like,
did you do sauce before around the...
I started sauce in the community at the house.
Also. Mm-hmm. So after that first thing, that's when you started realizing I could do this for a living.
Yeah.
Did you already leave racetrack and everything? Did you already leave your job?
Racetrack was just recently. I just recently went back full time.
Oh, you went back full time?
Yeah.
So when you went to, you got to the...
Before I got to that point, I was always in and out of jobs.
Just because you thought that was your security blanket?
Yeah, the job was always, I kept a job to have a security blanket. I was funding the business from my job paycheck. Fine. Yeah.
So once you started doing events, then you had, when did you decide I guess that's when you decided you're going to go full time?
I really wasn't full time. I was just going with the flow. On my days off, I would open up. If I get off later and my wife was home during the day, if she was off, she would start.
How many kids you guys had around there?
2.
2? Okay. So you guys take care of the kids. You guys would decide, hey, let's just do it. How did it do every time? Did you guys sell out every time?
No, we have good days and we have bad days. Some people will say, we sell out every time. I'll sit here and tell you. But when I started, I didn't sell out every time. No, it wasn't as sweet.
So do you think, but also what made you keep on going though?
The passion I had for cooking and then the customers.
So the seeing people enjoy your food
is what kept me
you going.
Yeah.
So all right. So after that first event, what was the next step for you?
The next step after the old school reunion was, I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Was it going down to the truck, the food truck?
No, the food truck. It's been a year since I had the food truck.
So then what was that transition? And so you went from doing it, was it more catering? Like what was next for you after that?
After the event, I started catering.
Did that take off pretty good?
Somewhat, because at the time, I didn't know what to charge somebody. So I was just basically going with the flow. Like I didn't know you had to, until, I had a talk with, Trinette. Hey, you gotta with catering, because she would call and ask me for stuff. And I remember this one time she called and asked me for something. And, I sent it to her and she sent it back to me. She's like, this is not enough. So for another business person to tell you that, like, you need to get paid what you're worth, I mean, that's pretty big to me.
And she knows the game, so I think that's so powerful. So she knows the game, and she was able to bring value to tell you step it up. It's not enough. It doesn't make sense.
No. So, I mean, like I said, before I even knew who Trinette was, I was just, okay, go ahead. $50, $60 for this, $50, $60 for that. And I'm like,
you don't even know.
I don't even know. I just know, okay, I'm getting paid $50 for this. I'm getting paid $60 for this.
And you were at work for 10 hours.
And and it's just like.
So then when did you start learning how to price out the stuff? Was it from getting game from someone like Trinette?
Yes. It was from, having brief conversations with them and like, hey, how much would I charge for this? Or, I send it to one of my buddies like, hey, what is this amount? What is this? And what would you do this for? I just started getting, them teaching me the game about, what you should charge for them.
So the community helped you out with the food community helped you. The food
community helped me
get to the process where you learn how to charge for the product. Mm-hmm. So then how did you get to the point where you decided you're gonna go full blast and do the truck? Was the momentum building from the catering and everything?
No, like I said, I used to live on 9th Street in Revere, so that's where it started at. On 9th Street in Revere, it kept getting bigger than what it was. I didn't expect nothing of it at all. So we end up moving to Lake Park, and it got even bigger.
Wow.
I went from
what makes you think it got and what made you think you got to that point? How you think you got there?
Word of mouth with customers. Mm-hmm. Word of mouth goes a long way. So with the repeat customers and being consistent on coming back, oh, where you get this from? Well, they'll post it. Oh, where you get that? Oh, they'll tag me. Then they'll try to, get something. So that's where it came. And then once we moved to Lake Park, it just blew up there.
It took off.
It took off there.
So the took off was basically you're creating different dishes in the house. Mm-hmm. Did same menu, same consistency, the same thing. Nothing, you didn't really add nothing crazy.
Really didn't add nothing crazy.
Do you believe the social media started helping you out with that?
Yes, social media played a big part in it because I didn't know who to, send it to, or I just, like I said, one day I just threw it on Facebook, and it went from there. Oh, how much is this? How much is that? And we just, hey, we're gonna do lunch one day. We're going to see how it go with lunch. And then that way, once we see how that goes with lunch, then we'll talk about expanding. So lunch went good. I mean, it sold out. She was working. She got her job to order, got a couple of jobs to order lunch, had a few people stop by the house and get plates.
So then the community started learning more about the food.
Yes.
And it took off from there. When did you get to the point where you said, I'm going to get a truck and really take this on the road? And how difficult was that?
I want to say, I just had my truck a year, 2021.
Okay.
Actually, I got it right before we got it right before our anniversary. I want to say it's coming the 24th. No, not my anniversary. The day.
Don't set this up for an L right now.
My truck got to me. The guy delivered my trailer to me in July 24th.
Of 2021.
2021.
So right after the pandemic, you went all the way.
I would, because
the pandemic's still going on.
The pandemic was great for me. I mean, we stayed consistent. People are home. People was hungry. And, I started off tabletops in the grill.
Wow.
Got an old propane tank donated to me from the gas company. Like I said, everything took a process. I sat on that grill for about a year till I decided to, get it done. And then I just, started asking around, hey, who did this? Or where you get this done from? I'm ready to go because I started with a little grill from Kmart.
Wow.
A little charcoal grill from Kmart and Walmart.
And you kept on going.
I just kept on going.
So when you got the truck, like, how was that feeling for your whole family?
Man, it was great.
Because now it felt like you guys are constantly growing and getting better.
Yes, and actually, when I got the truck, I didn't physically put it on the road until November.
Oh, wow.
So I was still honestly, I was kind of scared because I never pulled nothing that big behind me.
Yeah. But so you weren't even scared about the food part. You were just scared even how to drive it.
Drive the trailer, yeah. Because that's a big trailer.
Right, that's a real thing.
So it was just like.
So how did you get over that fear? Just doing it at that point?
I just went head on and do it.
I think that's something that's very consistent with you. Every time you might have the fear, you just do it, and it just eventually
started to happen.
So when you already knew when you got the truck, like, why did you get the truck also? And when you got the truck, what did you have on that menu?
Well, the reason I got the truck is because I wanted to expand. The truck is an attraction. Most people, are buy something out of a truck versus, you're standing on the side with a grill or something, the truck. And then when I got it wrapped, it's just like the colors of it attracts more people. You drive and you see a truck on the side of the road, I'm gonna go stop at the truck and see what they got, you know what I'm saying? And at the time I didn't have a location for it. So I was like, that was a process I had to go through because I had like I said, I used to take my grill and my tables to the inlet liquor store. I used to serve right there by the inlet liquor store until, the pandemic happened. And
even how you got to that point? They told you to come by, you had a relationship there, like?
The previously owners, my friend works there. So he's the one that put me on to the previous owners that, told me to come up there, just try it one day. So, I did, and the owners the new owner there now, we have a relationship, he just said, just be consistent.
So you decided, was the inlet your first location that you started?
The inlet is
before you even had the truck, you started in the inlet, you're saying?
Before I even had the truck, I started at the inlet.
So then, go ahead.
I had to stop because, code enforcement came in, you don't have I had the business tax receipt and I had the insurance, but as far as like the mobile vending license, you gotta.
You have to start with,
and then with the pandemic starting, me in the midst of the prime of the pandemic, it's like, you see these lines out there and people driving by like, wow, all these lines are right here. What's going on? So it's
so you even had the lines, pandemic, you already doing numbers.
I was already doing numbers.
Ooh. So you decided to get so was the court enforcement the reason you got the truck also?
No.
They just wanted you to have that.
They just wanted me to be
licensed, have all your things.
Have everything in a row. That falls back on paperwork.
So after you learn how to drive, because I guess that was your first fear, is driving the thing. Yeah. So you got it there. How soon did the business start taking off in the truck? Was it soon after? Was it just part of the flow?
Just part of the flow.
So did you even catch up in realizing that the truck is doing numbers? Like you're growing right now. You just got your head down. Going.
To this day, I'm still amazed because I sell out. Every time I'm in a truck.
So very few could say that. Why do you think you sell out every time you're in the truck?
Being consistent and the product.
So the consistency of being there, the consistency of the product, all those things, what keeps you going in that location. Mm-hmm.
And since then, the menu has expanded.
Okay. What's your process of expanding a menu?
Just add new items. Before I would even add it to the menu, I would throw it on Facebook to get the reaction of the people to see how they would like it or not.
Do you guys have people that test it out, or
yes, we have people.
A friend come by your house?
Yeah, we have people that test it out that don't know the people that I serve normally, or just they're not biased.
So how open is your community now on new products, new things, and They're open for it? Do they want more new things all the time, or
They're pretty open. Like I said, I just be sitting at home some days, or when I'm on the truck, like, damn, I wonder if if this would sell, or I wonder what this would do. And my wife was like, "Stop wondering and just do it."
do what I want? Boy, what's your wife's name? I'm sorry.
Shantae.
Shantae special, boy. Shantae don't play.
Nah, she don't.
I just want to give her a shout out because it sounds like every time you move forward with something, she's the battery in your back. Yeah. She's the backbone behind doing it. So now you're in the truck, you're moving product, you constantly up enhancing the menu. What's next for Cooking with the Edge? Is it more trucks? Is it, God willing, being able to open up your own brick and mortar? And
I would say I want to do both of them. I want to have a team.
Okay.
So I still want to keep the original trailer that I have and get another trailer, and possibly within the next 5 to 10 years have a brick and mortar.
Okay. Brick and mortar is a different sport.
Yes, I see.
Yeah. It's a whole different ball game.
And like I said, I will crawl before I walk. If I gotta start.
I mean, I think you're in a position. I don't think you actually walk before you run. Because I think you passed the crawling stage. Right? You're literally producing food from Wednesday to Sunday. There's no more crawling. You passed the crawling stage, and you actually producing good food, consistent food, and the product is good. So you're past that stage. I think it's really understanding. With brick and mortar, just comes with a whole different experience. It's a different labor. It's everything it enhances. Yes, the potential of money might be better. It doesn't mean you're gonna make more money, And then there's a process of building that brick and mortar, the turnaround, because you might see a lot of the same people in your truck every week, but that doesn't mean every day. Yeah. And your overhead costs has changed drastically. So one thing I did see in your truck, you have the whole family working. Mm-hmm. How did you get to that process, and why are they so comfortable with doing that?
As far as my kids, I got some very expensive kids.
I can only imagine.
So if they, they want something, we're teaching them now. If you want something, you got to get out there and work for it. I didn't have that. I mean, I had it when I was coming up. But, I didn't have, like, all the materialistic things coming up. So, you're like, kids like, Daddy, I want this. Daddy, I want that. Okay, what you going to do to get it? Okay, even if it's just passing out a lemonade. Like, the lemonade that we make, it comes from my daughter. Okay, you want things? You got to get in here and make your lemonade. You got to get in here and bottle up your lemonade.
Wow. So, how does she enjoy the process?
Oh, she loves it.
You think she loves the hustle, just watching you guys grind out, or
she loves it? Well, I mean, when she's not doing her activities, she's right there. She done a couple of pop-up events. She enjoys it. She pays her own vendor fee.
What do you mean she pays her own vendor fee?
With her Cash App, the money that I get from the lemonades, we keep track of that, and we send it to her. Or if she wants to, if they want to pop up at an event somewhere, you go pay your own vendor fee. Of course we help them out, but we're just
but I think I love it. So you have 2 girls?
No, I have a girl and 2 boys.
2 boys, and they're hustling lemonade. That's their business.
That's their business.
And they go out there, get the vendor fee, and go out there and sell their lemonade.
Yeah, they did one pop-up event where she sold out of lemonade.
What you think that did for her selling out, and that whole process? How do you think she feels about it?
She was excited. She had fun doing it, and she like, Dad, you going to an event? You cooking today?
So she wants to hustle.
She wants to hustle.
So now, because you're saying, so she creates the lemonade, so all the lemonade sales go directly to her.
Yes.
That's a good feeling. I could only imagine with her being able to do that. Mm-hmm. What made you do that part, though?
That was all my wife.
Shantae.
Yeah, Shantae.
So now, what's the process of that? Was it just for her to learn how to hustle, how to sell?
Yeah. And because we were like, you guys need to start selling drinks. And I'm like,
so you guys weren't selling drinks?
Wasn't selling drinks. We were selling like check sodas from Dixie and all that, but everybody don't drink.
Hit different.
Everybody don't drink sodas.
Right.
So,
yeah, that was a big part of my business. Yeah. Specialty drinks. People want those. Just something unique. It's good lemonade too. I froze it. It's good. It's definitely a good product. So what's next for the family though? Do the family wants to keep on this? You think your daughters want to be in the business? Your kids want to be in the business, you think? Or
It's too early to tell right now.
how old your oldest daughter?
She's 10.
She's running that truck like she's 45.
Mm-hmm.
This is her truck. Like from what I see, she took my order and she
No, that's not my daughter. That's my worker.
No,
she works with.
No, there was a young girl.
That's my goddaughter.
Oh, it's your goddaughter.
She's still in high school.
Okay. I was like, the way she was moving, that's not no kid. No,
she's still in high school. That's my goddaughter.
So your goddaughter was working in the truck also. Mm-hmm. So you don't think? Sorry. So right now you don't believe they really know what they want to do. They just love the hustle. They love the grind.
My kids actually love the hustle.
Wow. So next thing you believe you would like to do is open up more trucks and brick and mortar. Is there anything else that you need help with, a resource that somebody's watching this show could bring to you, or anything you'd like to talk to the people about? That's when you know you're good at for yourself. So it's okay to talk to people about what you might need.
I know. Probably the funding wise, to get another. I want to have another truck.
Okay.
A fully functional truck, so I can be in two places at once, and then be able to create opportunities for other people to generate income for their families.
100%. That's what it does. That's exactly how it happens, man. I have some things coming up when it comes to the food, the mobile side of food. I don't want to go back to a brick and mortar, so I'm thinking about like I have a pop-up coming up at the end of the month, but then I want to do some other mobile stuff.
Okay.
Brick and mortar, that sport is a whole different ball game, and I'm not in love with the kitchen. I'm not in love with. I love experiences. I love creating an atmosphere for the people, but I'm not in love with cooking. Like it's not. You have a different passion that I don't want no smoke with.
It's not. I ain't gonna say it's not hard.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is hard. You just gotta enjoy what you're doing.
I think you like the freedom of working for yourself.
Yeah.
I think that's important. So for me, I think I can't wait to see more. I can't wait to see what more looks like for you. I love the fact that you and your wife are doing this together. You guys are building together. It's not easy. You both know it's not easy. I definitely hear you talking about how she's always been by your side, and also pushing you forward to do certain things. So I think that's super important, man. And I can't wait to see what's more for you, man. I once again, I wanted you to come and just talk about your process while you're still in the hustle. You're not, you're someone that's still building. And I wanted you to share that process with people. I think a lot of people believe things are easy. Like what you're doing is easy. It's not easy. You're still learning. You're still grinding. And my goal is to let people to understand that, man. So thank you for coming by and speaking with the people. Can't wait to have another conversation when you get to the brick and mortar, when you keep on growing. I always want people to know the process, man. Let people know how they can get in contact with you. Please.
You can reach me on Facebook or Instagram, Daniel Edge or Cooking on the Edge 3. Phone number is 561-876-6307.
That's where they place the order, huh?
That's where they place the order.
What a coincidence you gave that number.
Yeah.
Is there any way that they can see them, or the truck? Where's the trucks located?
The truck will be located on Wednesday and Thursdays. We're at the Inlet Liquor Store from 5 to 9. On Fridays, we're on Military across from Indian Trace Apartments in the American Freight Plaza. When I do breakfast, I'm at the Inlet also.
So you in the other, what days for breakfast?
Saturdays as of right now. Unless catering comes in, then I can't do breakfast.
Okay. Well, man, good luck. Congratulations on all your success.
Thank you.
Many more, and good job, man.
All right, thank you.
All right, my brother. Man, you have to break my hand like that, man. What's the problem? All right, man. Good luck. Peace.
All right.
Good job, Daniel, man. I'm proud of you, man.